following is an unpaid preview for a game seeking funding on Kickstarter. The product seen here is a work in progress and is subject to change during the duration of the project. Hi everyone, it's Ferdinand the Cardboard Stacker, and I'm here to talk about a game that I recently played that's on Kickstarter right now and is seeking funding. That game is Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty's Web, and if you haven't viewed my two previous videos on this Kickstarter preview, I'll talk more in depth about the game, and I also gave a small interview with the game designer, Jim Kiefer. So, and I would like to thank him just for coming here to the Cardboard Stacker Studios, my house, and to just to talk about the game and especially show the game off, because I was very interested in it when it was there in Strategicon, which I have no time at all when I was there and even tried the game. I only saw the game, and I contacted him, and then he came over. So that's really cool again, so thank you for that. Now this video is just mainly talk about my impressions about the game, and I won't go too heavy on it, so do check out my previous two videos. I guess I'll put them somewhere here that's kind of clickable, and you can go ahead and check those out to learn about more about the game and how is it played. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the game. The first thing that came up to mind, well, let's go ahead and let me quickly explain the game. Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty's Web is a abstract game where there's tile placement, and you're trying to solve crimes and link them back to the main villain in the Sherlock Holmes universe, which is Dr. or Professor Moriarty. And you do that with tiles and clues that you gather and trying to piece it together so that the crimes, which is a tile, which interlocks with a pattern with other tiles that traces back all to Moriarty. So you don't want to leave clues out. And so any clues that get left out will eventually you'll draw more cards from the event deck, which either clues disappear or it gives more Moriarty an advantage. So, but you have characters like Sherlock Holmes, his brother, Watson, and they will just have some special powers that could help you take a little bit of more advantage in the game. It kind of feels like a Pandemic meets Mad King Ludwig, and Pandemic is a cooperative game, while Mad King Ludwig is like a tile placement game with really funky shapes and with sizes and different stuff, and you're trying to piece it together. So while this game doesn't have like a lot of different shapes, it just kind of looks like that way. The Pandemic aspect is of course the draw deck, which is usually the bad, like everything bad's going to happen with that. And then the Mad King Ludwig is of course the tiles and just how it's placed. Now, of course, like in Pandemic, you have different characters that have different abilities. Same thing can be found here. Anyone can play anything. Of course, I think some of the there are characters are better. I think Sherlock is, of course, one of the better characters because he can just move anywhere and take as much movement as want. And then the other characters like Watson and the Inspector would have different effects. Well, in the game through gameplay, we only played 3 out of the 6 characters, and they were pretty good. I especially like the Lady Atlas, which is looking at the top of each of the tile decks. So that really helps a lot when especially finding the right patterns for those tiles to hook up next to. The other thing is I only played a 2-player game with using just 3 characters. So one, I used one, which is with Sherlock. Jim used one of the other ones, and then we shared a third one. I wish we had more time to play with more players so I can check to see some of the things that how cooperative is this game. But we did have a great time just playing us two and trying to solve it that way. I'm just going to say that it could be acceptable to something like the Alpha Gamer, where he's just going to just try to solve everything and play the game by himself even though everyone is there. But I think really the heart of the game is this is like a little conversation piece with everyone and trying to solve it together, even though everyone has a different character. I think I encourage people, or I think the game encourages people to just talk on everyone's turn and trying to solve the puzzle anyway that way, and trying to figure out how exactly where the tiles go. I'm not too worried about the alpha gamer. Usually my game room doesn't really have that kind of problem. I can still see this happening, so I don't know if there's any way to fix this, if it is a problem, but I think that the game is, kind of good enough. It is like I feel like it's like a puzzle, kind of like a group puzzle game rather than like a cooperative game in which that you're trying to figure it out together, but it doesn't feel like a cooperative game like Lord of the Rings or Pandemic in that kind of way. It's just like you're trying to solve the puzzle together. Now, from moving from gameplay to theme, I think it is more abstract than thematic, although the theme does kind of like fit in there. So if you let me explain that, the game really represents like the abstraction or like a web of thoughts during like a crime scene, trying to hook those up. So like where the clues go and where this witness goes, and trying to like one of those if you see like a crime show, like they're like trying to figure out the crime, they have like strings attached to it and stuff. It feels kind of like that, and it looks really cool when you see that. So it's like, I think it's like kind of like looking to like Sherlock Holmes' head, or even as I heard that I guess he just kind of draws this in the books. I think I wasn't quite sure about that, but kind of like on those drawing boards and trying to figure out the crime in that kind of style. Another aspect is probably what I think is really cool, and I have no idea about the Sherlock Holmes like books or stories like that because I haven't read any, but I do like the names of the crimes and stuff. Like they're like different various names. I'll go ahead. I can't name them right now because they're kind of hard to remember because I guess they're pretty long, as like they're kind of like headlines on like on a newspaper, so they're really cool that way. And I think the other one is that really caught me first for this game is the art, and I believe the art is done by one of the game is like a family affair, so it is a designer with his wife and with his daughters making this game. So it's really this like a whole family thing they're doing together, like a family project, and that's really cool. Not a lot of people, like I know, actually do that. So the other ones I probably know that are the Angle Stings. I don't know anyone else that kinds of do it. I know there's some partners or like wife and husbands kind of like duos, but one of them is like a whole family. So I think at least 5 of them are working on this project together. It's like really cool. Going back to the art, I think the art's really cool. I don't know who's actually exactly working the art. I don't know the designer or I think the wife of the designer or something like that. But really cool to look at. I think it's like it has like this watercolor kind of thing, and really adds like this kind of like almost like mysterious, but not quite. I guess it's not. It's almost like not quite too Victorian or that kind of era, but still pretty cool looking, and it gives that overall, it helps the theme, brings out the theme a bit more. And that's all I have to say about this game. So if you found this game anyway interesting, and you'd like to support it, go ahead and visit the Kickstarter page. This Kickstarter is happening now and will be ending at the end of this month of September. So go ahead and find the link in the description below. So before I leave, just want to thank Jim again to coming here to the Cardboard Stacker Studios and showing off his game. So that's really cool of him to do that. So thank you and good luck to your project. So I'm Ferdinand the Cardboard Stacker, and keep on stacking games.